Good evening. I'm Stuart, and this is the Bottom of the Barrel broadcast, and it's only up from here. We got another week in. It was a rather average kind of week, I suppose. So let's see here. We got Saturday. I was unloading the truck and noticed the ever excellent name of the Expert Gardener brand name. Because I thought it was funny because they could have went with lots of different kind of gardeners. They went with expert gardener. They really dodged a bullet not going with novice gardener. Other than that, the truck was only 2,000 pieces on Saturday. It's a pretty average day. Nino paid me back, so that was nice. He's one of my guys I lend money to quite often, so there's a little nicety there. Let's see here. So I got to work candy on Saturday. That was nice, a little bit different than usual, all by myself. It's kind of nice to be isolated sometimes. Sunday was a Beatles kind of day. I was listening to the Beatles off and on all day, so that was nice. And other than that, it was raining on the way to church, and then it wasn't. Walking back, I had my umbrella. It wasn't raining. So that's always nice. I always love bringing my umbrella because I know it's not going to rain after or before, one of the two. And other than that, I came up with this evolving concept in order to stay away from the terrible foods and other things. And I just have to keep in mind that I've evolved beyond that. So don't do that no more. Very easy concept to go with. See here, Monday. What was Monday going on? Let's see here. There was no GM truck today. That was about the highlight of that day. It says I wanted to record a little bit of Lords of Magic and upload that, but that didn't work out, unfortunately. I'm planning on trying to do some Lords of Magic later and maybe uploading that. We'll see. Later in the week or something. Hopefully, if the editing here doesn't take very long. I didn't do a whole lot of extra recording, so this shouldn't be very long at all. So there will be no funny takes at the end, unfortunately, which is depressing. Other than that, on Monday, let's see here. Went to the gym. I took it a little bit easier. I just did some burpees and stretched. I think that's about all I really did. The twins did their upper, lower, or their upper body workout, so I'm not sure what they all did. They were having trouble doing the barbell row, though. They weren't sure how to get their back straight or something, or how they were supposed to be, which I'm not terribly familiar with either. See here. And that's about it. There wasn't a whole lot else going on. I shopped during lunch, but trying to get out of Walmart. That's the only thing else on here was I had to stop writing because there was a Elmer Fudd impersonator at the other table doing an awful job. I really can't stand speech impediments, so I had to mention that because I was obviously frustrated by it at the time because I was trying to write and I just couldn't focus. It just kind of throws me off. I'm just like, oh, you can't talk? You can't talk, right? Okay. And Tuesday was a very lengthy day. It started out awful because I didn't eat after work again last night, which always leads to a rotten following morning, which indeed it has been a difficult day. And it was for the vast majority of the day. I could recount most of it because I wrote most of it down. I was thinking later that night of doing like a film noir sort of recording one of these days. It's going to be very difficult to do properly, but I think it would turn out pretty good and hilarious. Or, I don't know, entertaining, we'll say. Not necessarily hilarious, but entertaining to say the least. But the problem there was our supervisor called in, so we didn't have him, and that kind of slowed everything down by about an hour. But what we did have was our other supervisor came in after lunch and on his day off and helped us get that done. So we got out on time. So that was very, 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 very nice of him. I appreciate it very much. We all do. And then the only positive I had written down for Tuesday was the frozen dairy truck had already been there. But it was a very frustrating day before. Everything written on this page was remarking on how negative the day was. And yesterday turned around after lunch. Matt came in on his day off to save the disaster of the day we had been having, just like Gandalf. On the 5th day, the first light on the 5th day. Look for me. I'm not sure where I can't remember the next line. But it was something like that. He was on a white horse and everything. Not really. But Wednesday was Friday for me. I got up at 9, which turned out to be exhausting. When I got home, I was too exhausted to do anything else. I went to the gym though. Stretched my shoulders, did some more burpees, did better. I did 3 sets instead of 4. I was just trying to get to 50, and last time it took me 4 sets, and this time it took me 3. So that was nice. And then I rode for 15 minutes on their little rowing machine, which was nice. There's also a gal walking around with a GTA insurance shirt on, which is a actual insurance company around here. It just made me laugh that it's GTA insurance, like Grand Theft Auto insurance. It's just like, I'm sure that's what it stands for, even, possibly. Has to, I would assume. But it's very odd. And it is, of course, as you can probably tell, I went a little eccentric today. It is Fedora Friday. And I pulled out the rest of my fedoras. They're always hanging around. I mean, you probably can't see them all. They got a lime green one there, this leopard print, the purple, the Irish green, the blue, and then the Christmas one here. And then, of course, just the regular fedora. Get your fedoras out. We all know you got stockpiles of fedoras just everywhere. See here, and the production value, as you can see, is increasing. It's only up from here, framed. Yeah, I like it though. It's a nice little, where it kind of makes this cramped though. I need a bigger table. Actually, this is a dresser, so I need a bigger dresser or something. I need to figure out a better way to do this. But yeah, then I got things done, things to do instead of exciting things going on. You don't got anything exciting going on. But things done, I got my rocks cleaned and thrown in my little basket. I might put up a picture of that sometime soon or something. Or actually take a video of it. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Kind of afterthought. I never do it while I'm doing it, so like I never like show what I'm doing, but I talk about it. But it's now I actually can use the branch as a coat rack, like I was talking about the other day, probably a week ago. Can't remember what day it was. All right, it didn't record any of that, so anyway, don't worry about that. So branch, rocks, mandolin. And the empty space up there is where my hats go, my fedoras usually. So, yeah. And then, don't got anything else going on really. I thought it was recording, it wasn't. Well, sorry. And then, that's about all I got I got the standard cleaning around the house and all that good stuff done. I also ate already, except for supper. I got my big meal in early though, so that was different. I'm gonna eat my oatmeal and have my shake after a bit, probably after I get done editing this video and all that, possibly. That's some things to do. Also, like I said, I want to try to get some Lords of Magic in. I had this idea of, and I'm not sure, there's probably not a whole lot of you that understand what Lords of Magic even is. It's an older game, but there was always a problem with, there's 8 factions or faiths on there, each representing an element or an ideal, and they're always traveling around. They have scouts and everything, but you can't really stop them from scouting around on your land. But I thought of an idea that you could just like make a map that made it impossible for them to move into your land without like going through like a little gateway. So you have to like be like a level 12 or 15 or whatever it is, the highest level that you could make on the map editor, and do that. But you would still have the problems of the death, water, and air factions because they have flying units. And especially air, but I was playing on being air because air's probably my favorite. I like playing order a lot. And this is a very big tangent, but I'll get more into it later, I suppose, if I even do it at all. So there is that. So then I have wisdom of the day instead of humor, or a little. It is a quote technically, but this has to do with Tuesday because I needed this and I didn't think about it. I kind of just thought about it a little bit ago. I've heard it before. I've heard it many times from older people, and it is a solid concept. It'll work itself out. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. It always works out, even in ways that you don't want it to. So, like Tuesday, it was going awful up until after lunch. Like I was stressing out because we didn't have any leader of any kind, and I'm the person that's been there the longest in the back, so I kind of automatically go into, okay, I gotta be temporary supervisor and tell people what to do. And my thing was I was gonna just tell them like, okay, we're gonna split up into twos. Two of us do dairy, 2 of us do frozen, 2 of us do GM and HV. But Matt got there, and apparently Chase texted me that day. I didn't have my phone also. That was another thing. I left my phone at home on Tuesday and Wednesday because I just had it turned off and I left it there. It's been helping a lot with me lately. That's another whole ordeal. I really am not big into the whole having your phone on at all times anymore. It's just I never was. It took me a very long time to even get a smartphone or any modern telephone. So I've been I'm starting to see why, and it's just distracting. It's just incredibly distracting. I can't handle it. There's no point in it. There's no need for it. There is a lot of good information out there, but the thing is, I can get on my computer and look at things if I need to, or I can look on my smart TV and look on YouTube videos on there if I need to look up something or entertain myself with something. I would rather be doing something than watching someone do something, which I know is kind of counterintuitive to what I'm trying to get you guys to do. But that is about it, really. I don't think I have much more to talk about. Yeah. It was a pretty boring week, and it turns out the other supervisor had a kidney stone or something going on, so I don't really blame him for not showing up, because that would be hard to work with. But, yeah. The fedoras, I don't know if they're staying here or not. I do like my Lion King things being hung up as well. I'm a Lion King fan. I don't know where else to put them either, so they'll probably be hung back up while you can't see what's going on. But yeah. So, in closing, may peace, love, and happiness be with you all the days of your life. I'm Stuart Stewart, and this has been the Bottom of the Barrel broadcast. Have a good night. Like the video, subscribe for more content. Hopefully it's more than just the Bottom of the Barrel recap of the week. And share the video.